So today we've come to visit David Kinsella and his family, farming here in Cushenstown, County Wexford, in the sunny southeast. David, you were a beef farmer, sucklers,
Yes,
and a long history of it, and you decided to make the conversion to dairy. Could you explain maybe why?
Well, yeah, I was at suckler to beef for a long time, and the returns from the market weren't good enough, or so I thought, and or the prospects weren't good, didn't seem to be good enough. And I think in 2019 the headline from Moore Park was the best days are yet ahead, so I decided to go for it then.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
And you've a next generation coming on after you, that was a consideration as well?
Yes. Children are interested in farming, and if you stay in beef, low profit system, the farm will get run down. So at least you'll have something if you're making money to reinvest back in the farm.
Yes. So you're milking here now since mid to late January of this year. So what are the major changes you've seen, or how different the lifestyle is it?
Well, the obvious thing is being here twice a day. We know that, but the livestock are different in that they're so quiet and placid. Anybody can work with them, whereas not many can work with suckler cows, regards youngsters and children. And the routine, I don't mind the routine I'm around anyway, like, you know. So it's been positive, very positive, I'd have to say,
yeah. And so, like with children, you would have been conscious of them around sucklers previously?
Yeah, well,
not
sure.
Safe?
The children could never walk through a field of suckler cows.
Right.
At any time of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas the dairy cows now, they get them in usually.
Yeah.
So that's a big benefit for them and for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would say this year then, how would the calving period have compared to, say, calving the sucklers? How, in terms of workload, was there a big peak in workload, or was it much the same as your sucklers? Or?
Yeah, there was a bigger peak in workload insofar as training all heifers, training them to the milking parlour. Not so much calving, but to train them to the milking parlour and learning myself at the same time as the first year of milk cows. But now they have over that hump now, and I won't have to go into that hump every spring.
Yeah.
I'd say there's not going to be a major difference in the workload other years, I would say.
Right.
Because it's just a matter of calving them down, a few heifers to be trained, but not the full herd.
Okay. And say the rearing of calves then?
Yeah, well, I only kept 22 heifer calves for replacements, and the rest of the calves were sold.
Okay.
I use whole milk for feeding calves, and wasn't a major. There was no disease problems with the calves, so therefore it wasn't a major problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So grassland management then, were you into that, say, with your suckler system?
Yeah, I'm with pasture base for a good few years now, and sure, it's a huge help to. If you're going to get her now, when you're using pasture base, you'll know a week earlier than if you're not using it.
Right.
That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
And to help you know when to take out products as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an important skill you had,
Yeah.
which you didn't really have to be learnt again, which is good.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So maybe on the financial side then, say, do you see an obvious difference on your cash flow compared to maybe once or twice a year you getting a check for your beef, or what's that like?
It's more regular, obviously, monthly, and you don't have to bargain for it.
Yeah.
It's decided and you get it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And and it's more steady throughout the year. Obviously, beef prices have recovered this year, but that's good.
Yeah. People needed that break, and they need that.
Yeah.
To make a living.
Yeah, I'm happy I made a move.
Yeah, good. So in terms of the animals, then, say you bought heifers, black and white.
Yeah, all Holstein Friesian heifers.
Yeah.
Went for as good an EBI as I could get, and I think they're averaging close to 170 EBI, and sure, hope to breed on from there.
Okay. And so you do all your own AI?
Yeah.
Which you were doing historically with your sucklers anyway?
I was, yes.
And have you used any breeding bulls?
No bulls.
Okay.
All AI.
Yeah.
Mainly for heat detection, use tail paint mainly, and observe them 3 times a day.
Okay.
Tail paint is only a guide. You need to see them as well.
Yes. Yeah. So would you come out at night to look at them or not? Or?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Before and after milking, and once during the day.
Okay.
And obviously first thing in the morning as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So they're very content herd of cows anyway.
They are. They're going back in milk yield now. Obviously, they're down to being 17 litres, but that's obviously that's natural this time of the year. There's end of July.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
heifers, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So in terms of your paddock management then and grazing management, are you don't maybe have fixed paddocks yet? I suppose yet you're in a kind of a growth phase still slightly, are you?
Yeah, I'm relying a little bit on the polywire still.
Yeah.
Till I see where I'm going to settle with cow numbers.
Yeah.
And then to have the paddocks that way.
Okay.
It's working well. So it is.
Are you giving enough for 12 hours or 24 typically at the minute? Or?
24 to 36 is the preference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you never go past 36. So there's some fields are set size, and then you have to do your best with that.
Yes.
And there's already there.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
So David, in terms of infrastructure on the grazing side, as we're on a farm roadway, had you farm roadways here?
No.
Okay.
Well, there's one central roadway, Severn dwelling house, and down to the farmyard from the road, but
right.
Not for livestock. So
Okay.
the cow roadways were put in about 800 metres of cow roadway.
Okay. So just in terms of construction of the road, did you dig the surface before you put in the stone?
We took off a minimum amount of topsoil off of it.
Yeah.
And then we dug the filling from the land, and it's slightly above the grass level.
Yeah.
And then purchased the fine coat on top.
Okay, so it's given it a good finish to...
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so water then, I see you've new water troughs?
Yeah, I upgraded the water supply as well.
Yeah.
Put in 20 mil piping, and it's tested these hot days, but it's working very well.
Yeah, I suppose it's a real tester in this weather.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Is it fit for purpose? So you're...
Yeah.
It obviously is for you.
Yes. Yeah.